tuning in, family. My name is Shannon Jackson, the People's Nurse, your resident host of Living Your Life Without Limits. And today's episode is a motivational topic titled Prison Break. Stay tuned.
Wake up, everybody. Let's elevate your mind. Live your life without limits. No more wasting time.
Thank you once again, family, for tuning in today. And today's empowerment point is going to be on prison break. But do me a kind favor. If you're not already a subscriber to Living Your Life Without Limits, please click the subscribe button. And if you enjoy today's empowerment point, please click the like button and leave me a comment. Let's have a conversation about it. You know what, family? I want to bring this point to life by just giving a little excerpt from a biblical point, but it applies to whether you read the Bible, Christian or not, because these practical points can apply to anyone's life. But I'm taking it as a reference from the book of Acts, the 12th chapter, and I'm not going to read all of this. I just want to bring out a couple of key highlights. And what it's talking about is how Peter was put in prison. And I'm using that as a reference to show you that no matter what the circumstance in life, be it a physical prison, if any of you are listening or watching that may actually be in a physical prison, or you are imprisoned in your mind, that your mind is locked down, or you feel you're in a prison type situation, confined, no way out, no way in, that you feel enclosed, no breakthrough, nothing happening, stuck. This will apply to your life. Peter didn't do anything but be a Christian. And you can read the story in its entirety if you like. It's taken from the book of Acts, chapter 12. And you can read from that on in that chapter. But I'm just going to take a paraphrase of that. He didn't cause anything but being a Christian. And the king had him put in prison. He had already killed James, and Peter was scheduled to be killed. But a certain time had to pass, and God worked in that time. What am I saying before we go into the practical points? Even though it looks like there is no way out, family, how is this going to be done? I've been there. I know how it feels to be locked up mentally or locked up financially. Like, I don't want to live here. I don't want to be here. Locked up in a job that I'm unhappy with. I just want change and don't know how it's going to happen. But I declare what I did is prayed. And Peter did the same thing. And that vehicle of prayer moved the situation. It also caused him to feel confident enough to go to sleep. So one of the empowerment points that I want to leave for you today is that prayer changes things. It changes conditions and circumstances. It changes you and it changes your environment. It changes your atmosphere. And whether you believe in prayer or even meditation, having that brings clarity and confidence. Do you not know that because he was praying, he was in a state where he was praying and he fell asleep? Prayer will bring you to a place of trust. Trust not only in your higher power or the Lord Savior Jesus Christ, whom I believe in, but trust in yourself that all things are going to work together for good. So that was the first empowerment point I want to bring out. The second was, look at this. And when Herod would have brought him forth in verse 6. That same night, Peter was sleeping between two soldiers, bound with two chains, and the keepers before the door kept the prison. The man went to sleep. That's the second point. You got to rest in confidence and lay aside stress and anxiety and trust that it's going to work. Trust that you're coming out. Trust the process. When you go to sleep and you can be in bondage, that says I got 100% confidence that I'm going to be okay. So what am I saying? Go to sleep. Let not your heart be troubled. Rest. Remove stress, anxiety. Breathe. Relax. You know, I love, well, they used to do it, not so much now. But back in the day, when you would take a flight on the airplane and the captain would come on and give you all the instructions about the flight. This is your captain so-and-so. He go over the altitude and go where we're traveling, approximate time and all that. And when he finished all of his introductory statement, he or she would say, thank you for being with us. Sit back, relax, and what? Enjoy the ride. So when you are in a position of relaxing or rest, you are saying, I'm not worried about it. I am confident that it's going to work out. So what's the third empowerment point? While he was sleeping, y'all, an angel came and patted him and led him out to freedom. So what am I saying? If you have faith, pray, meditate, trust the process, an open door and a release is going to come. Chains were released. Even in the midst of bondage, he was set free. I don't know, my friends, what you might be going through. But whatever it is, God has the ability to unlock the shackles and the chains from your life. Be it in your mind, your circumstance, your condition, God is going to release you from prison. But the angel led him and he followed. So whatever instructions or things you need to do, actions you need to take, do it. Don't sit there in Sorrow Valley or stressing yourself out as if you have no way, or having a nervous breakdown or mental meltdown, because there is an answer. And it may not come how you want it to come. But as sure as my name is Shannon Renee Jackson, God has a beautiful plan for your life. But I want to show you this real quick. Verse 7 said, and behold, the angel of the Lord came upon him, and a light shined in prison, and he smote Peter on the side and raised him up, saying, arise quickly. And his chains fell off from his hands. And the angel said unto him, gird thyself and bind on thy sandals. And so he did. And he said unto him, cast thy garment about thee and follow me. So when preparation, in other words, Peter had to prepare himself for the prison break. So what you need to be doing, my friends, in this state, not worrying about it, not wondering about it, preparing yourself for your prison release, preparing yourself that you are coming out of this, mentally preparing, doing the work. He had to do some things. And he had to follow instructions before he was released. And as I'm closing this, I believe that if you take action, in other words, meaning the final practical point, empowerment point, you are going to reach your destiny. You are going to be liberated in whatever area that has imprisoned you. And oftentimes, my friends, I find it's mostly in our minds. Because if our mind is in prison, how can we think and take action? How can we become liberated? It's time for you to break out of that prison and take control of your destiny. I know you can do it. And following those empowerment points, praying or meditating, staying confident by relaxing and trusting that you're going to be okay, because that's what sleep does. When you can go to sleep, you say, I'm fine. Many times we toss and we turn. And thirdly, preparing yourself by taking action. Understanding the actions that you're going to do is going to translate to you coming out. Have you ever been, I want to ask the question, in a situation where you felt like you were in prison? If so, leave me a chat. Let's have a conversation about it. I have. And the reason why I wanted to bring this, because God brought me out. He delivered me mentally so that I can rest and relax and take the necessary actions to come out. And I've been running and being a blessing to people ever since. And he has no respect of person. He can do the very same thing for you. So, family, get ready for those chains to come off and you to come out of prison. As I often end, I end no different today. Remember to love yourself. Take care of yourself. Because guess what? You are absolutely worth it. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next week.